Hi everyone, my name is Dave, and welcome to Extra Credit, a video series where we take an unscripted look at topics related to local history and exploring that history. All right, so as we normally do at the start of every episode, just a quick reminder to visit my website. You'll find a link in the description. There you'll find all kinds of content related to the topics we take a look at in this video series and then some, including a section for extra credit. So there you're going to find all of our past episodes, and you're also going to find a few little heads up to some future episodes. So if you're new to the video series, if you haven't seen any of the episodes before, you can go and take a look at topics that we've covered in the past. Or if you've a regular viewer and you've seen our episodes before, you may want to go back and revisit something that you may have missed or something that you want to take a look at again. Additionally, you're going to find me on social media. So you'll find me on Facebook and you'll also find me on Instagram. And last but not least, if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and that way you're going to stay on top of all of the latest updates. There is quite a bit of content that drops regularly on the channel. Basically, we're filming throughout the winter every month, and then there's tons of episodes that are recorded particularly in the exploration series that are happening in the spring, summer, and fall. And so by subscribing, turning on the notifications, you're going to get those updates just as soon as they come out. So all the newest content. There's usually a lag between when things are posted here on YouTube and then when they come out on social media. So again, staying on top of the subscriptions, make sure you'll get all of the content as soon as possible. So one of the things you'll notice is that we're in a little bit of a different location. We are here at camp, but I've actually decided to step outside. And the reason why I decided to do that, I'm just watching what Luna's doing running around here. The reason why I decided to do that is because we're filming here at the end of February. So this is March's episode. And February has just been not such a particularly awesome month. It's been cold. And when it's not cold, it's been snowing. And so finally, we've kind of got a break here towards the end of the month. And we actually have some mild weather. The temperatures in February, for the most part, were in many cases at normal or well below normal. The last couple of days, we've actually been above normal. And so it feels tropical. No, I won't say tropical out here, but that's what it feels like. It feels tropical out here. So it's just nice to kind of get outside. Nice little backdrop with the lake behind us and the snow. Luna's having fun kind of running around. And in any case, this is a perfect little segue into today's episode, which is going to take us kind of outdoors. So if you notice by the title, this is another episode in our Getting There sub-series. And it actually ties in with last month's episode with the Pigeon River Lumber Company. So essentially in this episode, what we're going to be doing is we are actually going to be traveling from home to actually into the United States. And so what we were doing with that was I was actually... Sorry, dog's got the zoomies here and she's running around. So basically I was, and you're going to hear in the video, the snowmobiles are driving me crazy too. They're like revving like crazy over on the adjacent lake. And so basically we were sort of completing a long-awaited visit to a site related to the Pigeon River Lumber Company. So way back in 2017, I had rediscovered one of the logging camps belonging to the company in Minnesota. And so they had basically two camps. The original camp, which was camp number 4, that was located on Gunflint Lake. And then they had a second camp, camp number 8, that was somewhere. And so after kind of a lot of fumbling around and looking and exploring, I actually did find... Wow, that's really loud. I actually did find the remains of the camp. Now, what I wanted to basically get the U.S. Forest Service, because the land that it sits on is part of Superior National Forest. And so I'm not an archaeologist, so I'm not a certified archaeologist, nor do I have the requisite permission, certification, anything to do any type of digging. So I wanted to get the Forest Service basically into the area, and that's really, really annoying. They basically, I wanted to get them in there to basically to be able to look around and to be able to do some excavations and to see what else was around the camp. You could basically make out the locations of some of the buildings, but you can't see what's really lingering in the ground. And again, I didn't have the authority to basically start digging around into the ground and sort of unearthing things. So what had happened is that I was supposed to. So after a lot of kind of trying to get them onto this and maybe a little bit of pestering. So finally, I was supposed to do the visit in the fall of 2019 with Forest Service archaeologist Greg Heidi. Unfortunately, that weekend really driving me nuts. Okay, we were supposed to do it on Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. They're actually coming up the road here. I hate the revving. So annoying. We were supposed to do it Thanksgiving weekend, and it snowed. We got a pile of snow. It wasn't as bad towards the Gunflint end of the Gunflint Trail, but around Trail Center, which was kind of way halfway up the Gunflint Trail, there was like a foot of snow, and so it was just ridiculous. And so then we were supposed to try again in the springtime. Well, lo and behold, we had the COVID-19 pandemic. And so basically the border was shut down for the better part of a couple of years. And then finally, kind of trying to sort of thing out, we were actually supposed to go in the spring. Okay. So the spring of 2024, and the archaeologist that was now in charge of the Eastern District of Superior National Forest, Sarah Kerfoot, tore her ACL, so we had to postpone again. And so finally, we scheduled early October that we were supposed to go. And so essentially, I was going to go into company with Sarah, Greg Heidi, and a couple of interns. So basically, what you're going to see here is you're going to see the documentation of the drive. So me driving from home all the way across the border into Grand Marais, which is the city where the Gunflint Trail sort of branches off from, and then up the Gunflint Trail to basically where the trailhead is, near Loon Lake. And then after that, we walk in, but that's not part of the documentation. It's just the drive part. So without any further ado, I will let you into the episode. All right, here we go. Probably can't see me. Turn on a little bit of light here. Maybe you can make out my orange hat. So it's 6:30. About a little bit over 2-hour drive to where we need to go. Maybe you can tell by my voice, I do not feel good at all. A little bit like garbage. Could use some different metaphors, but we'll keep it clean here. Throat's sore in my lungs now too, so it's hard to breathe. Not as stuffy as it was yesterday or the day before, but it's like clockwork. Sick at this time of the year all the time. Usually that month in, 5 weeks, 6 weeks into the school year, and I come down with something. So yay me. So I'm looking forward to this. Sick or not sick, I wouldn't miss this for the world. I've been waiting a long time to do this. Basically, I was supposed to do this 5 years ago. Didn't happen. And really, it's been the better part of 7 years waiting to do this this partnership with the Forest Service archaeologists. So yeah, if even I had to crawl, I would be doing this. So we're going to be heading out onto the highway pretty soon, and making our way to the south towards the border. So I'll switch off here, and then we'll come back to this later. Okay, we're on our way again. I can't see much of me. So we just passed the border, grabbed some gas. Now we're on our way. So we got about an hour and a half to get to where we're going.
Continue on Minnesota 61.
There you go. We're on Minnesota 61 now as opposed to Ontario 61. So we're coming up here. We're going to be heading up what is known as Mount Josephine. Big hill here by the Grand Portage. So we're now in Grand Portage, Minnesota. Interesting stop at the border. Usually put the vehicle in park and everything's okay. And the guy was, turn your vehicle off. Never had that one before. Looks like it might be a beautiful day. It's chilly. The truck is saying 2 degrees, 3 degrees now. But when I left home, it was -2. By far the coldest night that we've had so far. When I was filling up with gas, it was pretty chilly outside. There was a chilly wind. Maybe it's not as bad as it is, but not being 100%, being a little sick here, maybe it felt colder than it is. Beautiful view up here on Mount Josephine. You're looking out over Lake Superior. Obviously you can't really see much of that on the camera. Okay, so we're going to switch off here, and we'll come back when we get to Grand Marais. All right, so we're back. We're just approaching the community of Grand Marais, which is our turn-off point. So basically we're going to leave Highway 61, Minnesota 61, and we're going to be turning off onto the Gunflint Trail and heading up towards Gunflint Lake. Grand Marais is a beautiful little community. Has a very fluctuating population. Wintertime, not very populated, but things kind of explode a bit in the summer. Lots of tourists, like to the point where, you know, there's days where you can come through here and there's like cars everywhere. Like, it's crazy. Again, very popular place, right? People coming up the, as they call it, the North Shore, coming up Lake Superior.
1.5 kilometers. Turn right on County Road 12.
Basically people coming up from Duluth or even farther from Minneapolis, and yeah, just checking out the North Shore and all the little sort of stops along there. There's a number of parks and things that you can have a look at. There's that stupid cold. I'm gonna hit the brakes here. Speed limit, excuse me, drops quite a bit. Wow. I hate being sick. Well, I don't know too many people who enjoy being sick. Just the timing sucks.
Turn right on County Road 12.
So this is kind of the shortcut. There's another road that goes up there, and there's a big kind of sign that says Gunflint Trail. We're taking kind of the shortcut.
Continue on Gunflint Trail.
So got another 60 kilometers to go before we have to turn off. Again, beautiful day. See, there's not a cloud in the sky. It'd actually be better if there was a little bit of cloud for our work, because we're able to see things a little bit better. We wouldn't get the light and the shadow. So here you have to climb. You can see basically there's a big ridge. You have to get up to the top of that ridge, right? So we're kind of down here, but by the level of the lake. You have to climb. So this road, Gunflint Trail, has existed since the 1880s. So basically, there was the little community here, a very small number of people, and then basically there was this cart path that went up to Gunflint Lake, and eventually that was expanded, and I think the modern road was built in the 1930s, part of a project, a make-work project in the during the Depression by the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps. Oh, this is big. What the heck is this? This is new. I haven't seen this. Second here, you'll see the big water tank. This is Grand Marais. Welcome to the Gunflint Trail. Very popular. Again, just like the community, how it explodes in the summertime. Gunflint explodes. This area, whole area explodes in the summertime. This is the gateway to one of the gateways to the Boundary Waters, and so it's a very, very popular area for tourists. Basically people who want to go. And it caters to everybody, right? Because you have your people who want to go do the glamping, right? Where they want to be in the outdoors, but they like the creature comforts, right? So you can basically stay in a nice little cabin with a lot of amenities, and there's some places where for example, the Gunflint Lodge, they have a restaurant, and Poplar Lodge, they have a restaurant, right? So there's places where you can get to eat, and then there's the spots where you could basically get into the Boundary Waters, and there's no motorized access that's allowed, right? Basically it's canoes, and you're kind of in the backwaters, right? And you're just sort of really roughing it. So again, the years that I've come here, you see license plates from everywhere, Virginia and Texas, and yeah, there's a crazy amount of people that come from a lot of areas to visit the Gunflint Trail. Okay, so let's switch off here, and we'll come back once we get closer to our destination. Okay, so this is an iconic spot. This is called the pines here. So you can see these big, huge white pines that are reaching up here. And this used to be the dominant species in this area, and unfortunately, the logging that was done, and which is basically why we're here, going to have a look at one of the former logging camps of the Pigeon River Lumber Company, Camp 8. Basically, all the white pine is gone. It's been cut, right? So there were copse of white pine all along the Pigeon River, in through this area, all the way up to Gunflint Lake. And again, all those trees were cut, and you find sort of little pockets of them here and there, but nothing like what would have been around at the time, right? So when for example, when the Bertha Bluth and Western first came through, and then prior to the logging operation, right? So a real big change in sort of the vegetation and the appearance of the area. Okay, we're back. We're inching our way closer to our destination. We are just 3 kilometers from the turnoff. So we are not going all the way to Gunflint Lake. We are turning off on to Loon Lake Road, and we're going to make our way to our parking. We're going to start today's exploration. I'm a bit early. I'm supposed to be meeting at 8:30, but it's going to be about 7:45 when I get there. Just left earlier just in case there was any issues or delays or anything like that. Again, beautiful morning. It's very cool still. It's still showing -1. There's one point where the truck was showing -5. There's fog coming off the lakes. Again, it's been warm. It's been very warm. A couple of weeks ago, it was 30 degrees out for several days in a row. And so September was unusually warm, like way above normal, and dry. Very, very dry.
In 900 meters, turn right on Loon Lake Road.
Okay, here we go. 900 meters, we're turning off. God, I hate this stupid cold. I hate when it gets in your lungs. You can't breathe properly. So again, we were supposed to have done this 5 years ago. So Thanksgiving weekend,
Turn right
Canadian
on
Thanksgiving
Loon Lake
weekend
Road.
in 2019, and I remember we came on the Friday. I was here with the boys, and then the Saturday morning we got up, and it snowed, and there was literally like in some places like Trail Center had a foot of snow. It was
In 1.5 kilometers,
crazy.
arrive at Crab
I remember
Lake Trail
driving down
parking
here,
on the
and there
right.
was like, I don't know how much snow there was. Maybe there were 6-8 inches of snow, and the trees were all covered in snow, and it's just like, yeah, we ain't doing this. This is a bit of a crazy drive here. We have to drive very far down to the level of the lake, and so there's some crazy curves here. And there's like this hairpin corner here. And we're literally driving right through the Loon Lake Lodge. So the Loon Lake Lodge is here, and then they have like some cabins on like both sides of the road. Literally riding the brakes all the way down here. Somebody from Wisconsin.
In 900 meters,
Probably
arrive at
wondering what the
Crab
heck I'm
Lake
doing
Trail
here.
parking on the right.
See the fog on the lake here. Where's this person from? Michigan. Oh man. Mind you, I haven't been here in 5 years. When we couldn't go after that snowstorm, we were supposed to come the following spring. And then we had this pandemic thing that happened. And the border was closed for like, I don't know, 2 years. This is the parking lot. This is the spot where you can park to get into the...
Arriving at Crab Lake Trail parking on the right.
Right up here. And of course somebody's got their trailer parked right in here. Okay, we're gonna... just a tad. All right, so we've arrived. So maybe we'll do a quick little filming on the way out, just to sort of recap what we did.
Continue on Gunflint Trail.
All right, so we're back on the Gunflint Trail, and we're now heading our way home. It's now 4:24 local time, which is 5:25 home time, Eastern time. So that means that we have a long drive home. We're not going to be home until 7:30, according to the GPS, and probably gonna have to stop and fill up the tank, I guess. We have to go through the border. So it'll be after 7:30 that we home, maybe 7:45, which makes for a long day. We left the parking area probably around, it was after 8:45, so just before 9. We got back at 4 o'clock. So basically it was a very long day. Lots of walking. I checked. I did 18,000 steps, which is like 13 kilometers, which is lots of walking. And on top of that, being under the weather, so sucking wind like crazy, dehydrated. It seemed like I couldn't get enough water. So I drank all the water I took with me, and now I've been pounding back the water in my Yeti. So a little thirsty. 19 degrees, so yeah, it was a little warm. Back, my neck is sore. Got extra weight on my tactical vest with the camera. I'm not used to. All right, so in any case, this is kind of the end of our adventure. Obviously, we're going to be getting home in a couple of hours, and then I'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Be out by Connie Junction, flying the drone. So no rest for the wicked. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this little drive. Okay. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's kind of a neat little sort of situation. Would have been obviously better if it was in the springtime, because we would have had daylight for more of the drive, particularly when you're going up Mount Josephine and you see that nice view of Lake Superior, and we obviously did it in the pitch black. At least you saw a little bit of Grand Marais. You saw kind of going up the hill, and then you saw a little bit of the Gunflint Trail, and then the drive down into the parking area by Loon Lake. And so just to let you know, again, there's there's no documentation of the hike. There's no documentation of the camp because we're trying to keep the location somewhat secure. It's going to be some of the information will be revealed in my book once it comes out at some point in the near future. But again, it was a very, very successful hike. It was a very long day. It is a very long walk from basically where we park into the site. Dogs chewing on stuff, and then yeah, it was. But it ends up turning out to be a long day. It's a long drive down. It's over 2 hours to drive down, as you saw. And then the hike, where we did a lot of walking, and then obviously to work our way back out and then to drive home. I didn't end up getting home until I think 7:30 or close to 8 o'clock local time, right? So certainly made for a very, very long day. In any case, we are going to be doing at least one more of those episodes where we, we sort of chronicle our drive into a location. So hopefully this spring, when we resume explorations, I'm planning to, we've done a couple of drives up into the eastern area from Thunder Bay along the old Kinghorn line. So we went up to Kinghorn Road, we went up to Wild Goose Beach Road. We're actually going to do one to the west on the railway line that I'm working more on right now, which is the old Grand Trunk Pacific, the Graham subdivision, CN Graham subdivision. So I'll take you to the west, and we're going to head up towards Wraith, and we'll probably be doing that in early May. And hopefully it'll be nice because basically the sun will be up a little bit earlier. You'll be able to hopefully see a lot of the parts of the drive, and you'll be able to see some different geography and things like that as we work our way to the west. So in any case, again, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. We do have a very special episode coming up next month. I won't really say too much about it, but certainly if you take a look at the page on my website and basically you see what the topic is, it might give you a little insight into what is going on for that particular episode. But again, we have a lot more things coming up. There was a lot of stuff that we pre-recorded last year, some explorations on the Kinghorn and then the old Grand Trunk line, and so those episodes are somewhat ready to go. We just have to record the little introductory part as we're doing here, the little chatting part as Luna's kind of walking around. And in any case, so I'm going to enjoy what's left of this beautiful day out here at camp. I got to head back into town very, very shortly. But in any case, thanks for tuning in, and make sure that you stay tuned for those future episodes coming up. And until then, take care and stay safe.